What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, and welcome to my first VOD review of set 12. So, I was in the playtest for the first time last set, and thankfully, Riot invited me to playtest set 12 as well, so I got to play the new set a few days early. This was really fun, just getting to see everything, before everybody else. Before I was in the playtest, I was always like, oh, I wish I could be in the playtest and see what all this cool stuff is. But yeah, we get to playtest this set. Me and a bunch of other influencers and pro players and people were in the playtest, and it was an absolute blast. I'm loving this set so far from the playtest. I really love the set mechanic, which I'll talk to once we actually get there. I think it is one of the best set mechanics they've done in a long time, but I am, traditionally a Riot Games glazer, so can you take what I say seriously? I mean, you should, but yeah, it's an awesome set. Also, we have Prismatic Start here, so I felt like I had to VOD review this game. These are all options that we've seen before, but we get a new option here, a few new options actually. Worth the Wait is the middle one, and Movable Object. So Worth the Wait is kind of like the Silver Bard augment, but just up to a Prismatic level. You get a 2-cost unit, and then starting after 2 rounds, so you get the 2 cost, and then starting at 2/3, you get a copy of that unit for the next 8 rounds. So if you roll 0 times, you're guaranteed to get this unit 3-starred by, I think it's like 3/5, you get your last copy. So you get a 2-star, it's basically get a free 2-star, 3-star 2 cost, but you don't know which one you're getting. I want to check this one out. Movable Object is another really cool one where you get a Randuin's and it increases its range. So you don't have to clump up for that Randuin's value, and, getting a Randuin's is not bad at all. I kind of want to take Living Forge. I don't think there are any new artifact anvils. Also, sorry for my face glitching out there in the bottom right from the pause. That's just gonna happen. Bastion Crown is a new thing. All right, so let's talk about this little thing you see in the rightmost shop slot. This is called a charm, and so charms show up kind of similar to Chosen. They show up every few shops. It's every other shop you're gonna get a charm. You can only have 1 charm at a time, and once you've picked up a charm, you can't get another charm. And a lot of these only last, all of these really only last per a round. So if you buy a charm, and then next round after that you roll, you can pick up another charm, and so you can have a charm every single round. It's not like Chosen where like it stays. These are all, for the most part, either temporary effects or something that gives you something immediately. So first, this one we have here. Next combat, so if I buy this here, I'm gonna get a 1-star copy of the first enemy champion to die. So I pay a gold. If I kill a 3 cost, I'm gonna get a 3 cost. If I kill a 1 cost, I'm just gonna get a 1 cost. But you can aim to kill certain 1 costs or units that you're interested in farming up, and yeah, you have to pay gold for them for most of them. There are a few that are 0 gold, and we'll probably get to some. Like I said, they do consume a shop slot every other shop. So if you're doing like a roll down, you're gonna want to pick up a charm usually to decrease your ability to just kind of like have them grief your shop slots. But yeah, just to talk about this mechanic, I am in love with this set mechanic because it's all about choice, right? Do I want to, right at the start of the game here, do I want to pick up this copycat one? It's going to give me, I honestly, that fight probably should have bought it. I just kind of got too dizzy. If I kill 0 units, then, I'm not getting a copycat, but as long as I'm confident that my board can kill a single unit, then I should, just pick up that and use it to farm a unit. If I farm, a 3-cost unit, if I position to kill my opponent's 3-cost unit, I'm going to net 2 gold. Even if I kill a 2-cost, I'm going to net 1 gold. And worst case, I kill a 1-cost. Maybe I kill, another Zoe or another Blitzcrank, and then I can get a duplicate copy of those. So that's just scratching the surface. You'll see more as we go later in the game. I also want to talk about our other traits that we have in here. Portal and Vanguard. You can see on the left there this portal, that having 3 portals in summons. So this is a really wild trait. Also Minor Wish. I don't know if I even picked this one up either. I wish I picked up more in the early game so I could show you guys off. Oh, maybe I do pick it up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm down for past me to pick up this Minor Wish because I want to see some charms, but I don't think I end up buying this one because I'm afraid it's gonna stop me from making econ or something. Which fair enough. Oh yeah, my idea is that like if I win this fight, I can make 10 and hold the Ari. But yeah, portals. They summon this portal on the left here, and stuff just flies out of this portal. Oh, there. Let's go back and actually hover over it because it's nice to hover this stuff for you so you guys can see. So it gives all your portal champions a shield. And then stuff comes out of the portal. The portal also becomes stronger for each portal champion star level. And then there's small, medium, large, and giga portal. And so when you have a small portal, usually just a few things are going to come out. Sometimes like a Ziggs bomb comes out that does damage. Sometimes like a Jarvan E comes out, the Demacian standard. It gives you guys attack speed. Then once you get up to like 6, sometimes you'll get like a Krug that comes out of the portal and like tanks for you, or just like more Ziggs bombs and stuff like that. And then you get up to 8 and like even more stuff comes out of the portal. So it's a really cool, really fun kind of like wacky trait. I really like it. It's a very fun vertical to play around. I did see the 10 portal in one of my games, and it summoned some absolutely crazy stuff. So I'll wait, for you guys to end up seeing that whenever that happens. I don't know. I mean, I'm playing portals this game. Does it happen this game? Who's to say? Also, Galio, the unit that I got from this prismatic, is obviously a portal unit. We have Zoe, who is like an AP caster type unit. She is a scholar as well, which gives mana on hit. And this is another big thing that I want to talk about this game, which is like a background thing in TFT. Mana now overflows in TFT, which is really big. So the example is, say you auto attack with a Shojin, which is going to give you 10 mana for the auto and then 5 mana for the Shojin. So that's going to give you 15 mana. And you only have 5 mana left to, say you're 35 out of 40. What happens is that 5 mana brings you up to 40, and then that 10 is going to overflow and start you at 10 on the next cast, which is really nice. It's a huge quality of life buff, because now you don't have to worry about, if I build Shojin on a unit with 50 mana, then like one of the things is wasted. Boom, look at this one. It is a 0 cost charm, and it refreshes your shop with all 1 cost. So I can use this to try to find like a Zoe 2 or something. That one's crazy for reroll, by the way. That one is nutty if you get that one in early for you're like rolling for your 1 cost, and then you pick that one up, and then boom, just free 5 1 costs in your shop. Like there are some crazy charms out there. We'll see how many of them end up staying in the game, because I'm sure some are going to be like giga broken. But boom, there you can see the Jarvan flag, by the way, from Portal. But yeah, I mean, I really like charms. I really like portals so far. I feel like I was talking about something specific about portals, but about mana overflow. But yeah, this is really nice because now you really just build mana on units that want mana. You don't have to worry about the exact mana breakpoints, which is something that I was always bad at, is like figuring out, okay, I need X mana to get to this breakpoint, and like I can't play this item on this unit because it's going to get them to a bad breakpoint. I actually was talking about this because Scholar is a trait there. I hovered over it for like half a second. Let's see if I can pause here when I hover over Scholar. I think okay. At 2 Scholar, it gives you 3 mana on hit, like every time, not on hit, but on attack. At 4 Scholar, it gives you 5 mana every attack. And I thought, okay, Scholar is useless. 2 Scholar is useless on Zoe because she's 30 mana. She's just going to auto. That's going to get her 30, and then you're going to waste that extra 3 mana that you get. But this is not actually the case, because now she can overflow the mana. You don't have to worry about wasting mana on her, so it's so cool. I was really hesitant to build something like a Shojin. Look at this. Reroll my shop with all 2 costs. Boom, there's another Galio. And now I can just make Galio 3 with my duplicate. Like, charms are so cool. And these are just sort of like the econ ones I picked up so far. But there's also a lot of combat charms, which are really interesting in positions like this, right? When I'm win streaking and I want to say, like, okay, do I want to opt to roll? Also, check out this person's setup. They got a charm that turned all their items into static shivs. So they just have 3 static shivs on bench and the static shiv here because they don't want to slam their static shivs because the static shivs are going to turn back, which that's another thing that I don't know if they're going to keep, because, like if you slam this static shiv on your frontliner, maybe it turns back into a chain vest, which can be awkward. We have another prismatic here. These are all ones that you've heard of before. Nothing too crazy here. We roll into support golem, which is like the support one that you know and love, but it says support golem. Anger issues is another really cool one. I haven't taken it. I didn't take it this game, but all your items turn into Gwynsu's Rage Blades. They gain 35 Armor and MR, and the Rage Blade stacks give 1% AD and AP. So your frontliners are holding Rage Blades, your backliners are holding your Rage Blades. It's pretty crazy. That's a really fun one. I definitely in one of my games ended up playing. It's a really strong board there. So yeah. Let's talk about some of these other synergies we just threw in. We threw in Sugarcraft, which I don't play around this game, but as you can see, Sugarcraft on the right there's this cake on our bottom right here, and this cake gets stacked up every round based on how many items you have on your units here. So I have 5 completed items, and it counts components. So it's going to give me 10 cake Sugarcraft stacks, basically. What is it called? Sugarcraft. I got it. Because it gives you 2 for every item you have there. Or maybe, Okay, maybe it gives me even more because it just gave me 20 there. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but oh yeah, it's for every component. So I have 10 components worth of items here, 2 for every component. So that's why it gives me 20. As that stacks up, your sugarcraft units get more armor and MR, and then once you get to a 7-stack cake, I believe the cake starts giving you stuff, as you can see here. Yeah, when you get to 7 layers, you gain treats instead. So you get 15 armor and MR, and then that increases by 10% for each level of the cake. I don't end up really playing around it this much this game, but you know, it's a cool one to play around. I really want to play around it more, but I didn't get a chance to play around it that much in the playtest. So yeah. The other one, Scholar, we talked about, that is mana on every attack. Shapeshifter is back. If you guys played some of the old sets, it's the same Shapeshifter from old sets. So all of the Shapeshifter champions, I have Nico on my board, and I forget who my other Shapeshifter is. But after they cast, they gain, well, they start with extra max HP, and then after they cast, they transform. Some of them, this means something more than the others, like Chibana actually like transforms into a big dragon and dives. But in any case, after they cast, they get more max HP. So it's just really, really big, beefy HP units, which are really, really fun to play around. I'm going to pick up another Nico here. We have Witchcraft, which is a really, really... Well, I'll just go down the line, I guess. Vanguard is one of the new tanky traits. So the main tank traits are Shapeshifter, like we talked about. Vanguard, this is... I think this might be a reprint, but at the start of combat, you're going to see my Vanguard units are going to get a shield. They gain damage reduction when shielded, and then at the start of combat and at 50% HP, they gain a 50. They gain a percent health shield. So you can see here right at the start of the fight, boom, my Galio gets a shield, so he's getting damage reduction while he's shielded, and he gets that shield here, and then at 50% HP, which is really, really nice. Synergizes very well with things like Protector's Vow, or even like Bloodthirster, weirdly, where, you know, it'll give them a shield and then they'll get that damage reduction, which is really nice. And the last one that I have in right now to talk about is Witchcraft. Witchcraft is a really interesting vertical. At 2 Witchcraft, it's every time a witch, and our witches right now are Zoe and this Nico here. Every time a witch, I believe it's just anytime they damage an enemy unit, they curse them. And the curse right now at just 2 Witchcraft is minus 200 HP. So the second my Zoe starts hitting this unit has minus 200 HP. I believe it's like as the unit dies, they spread the curse to other units. I feel like that's not as relevant. It can be relevant, but like oftentimes, you know, your unit's just gonna end up hitting the next unit, but like they spread the curse around, I believe. And then as you get higher in the Witchcraft, you have more of a curse. So at 4 Witchcraft, it's the witches heal for 15% of the damage done to the cursed units, I believe. At 6 Witchcraft, it's the witches deal like 25% more damage to cursed units, and then 8 Witchcraft, it like turns them into frogs or something. That's the chase trait. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really fun. We got a Radiant item drop here, which is wild as well. I'm on an 8 streak here, so I'm gonna roll. I spent the entire playtest win streaking because, you know, I'm a beast, basically. Dude, look, gain a spatula. I'm kind of a coward, so I opted not to take this, but there is a portal emblem. So this is what I love. Let's pause here and yap about what I love about charms so much. Right now, I have to make a decision. Is this spatula worth 15 gold right now? I think this is so cool to have this on-the-fly decision-making, and it's even harder because I'm in a roll down, but I feel like this set is going to be one of the most skill-intensive sets we've ever seen in TFT, because right now I have to decide, do I want a spatula right now, and is it worth 15 gold to me? And I say no, but maybe that's incorrect. Maybe a spatula is worth a lot here because I can play 8 portal a lot easier, or maybe I can get to 10 portal. Maybe, like, I really thought about this. What if I'm supposed to take this spatula here and then play for like 10 portal on 10? Because I believe you only need 2 spats to get to 10 portal. I think that's true. Maybe you need 3. But am I supposed to take this spat here? Am I supposed to pay 15 gold for that? I love these kind of decisions being asked of players, and it makes me super dizzy. I end up not figuring out what my Radiant item is going to be here because I'm like, I'll wait around. I was really afraid of making Radiant Children because I didn't know what Rise's mana was, and I was so worried about the mana overlap thing because I didn't know that mana just overflowed now. So this was almost a tragedy, and I almost lost this fight because of this, but it ends up being okay. But yeah, it's really cool. It is a really cool mechanic in my opinion because it's asking you to make a lot of decisions. My only fear is that more casual players might be kind of afraid of it because it asks so many decisions and because it's so much rolling. But I think they're mostly straightforward enough that it's reasonable. But yeah, I got to roll down here. I pick up Nora and Yumi in my shop, who's a portal. I didn't actually, or who's a portaler. Yeah, I didn't even see. Oh, you and your opponent gain 1 gold, so that's just a easy econ one. Oftentimes when you're rolling down here, you want to pick one of these up as soon as possible because of the fact, like I said, it shows up every other shop. But because now that I have this charm, I'm not going to see it. So now I'm getting access to more shops. I team plannered most of this stuff out. I pick up a Morgana, who I'm pretty sure should end up on my board, but I don't know if she actually does end up on my board. As you can see here, I'm rolling down and I'm super dizzy. Pick up like Emilio here, who fits on the board as a scholar, but yeah, as you can see, I have no clue what my board is supposed to be. I think once again, I don't get the rating item down because I'm trying to get 6 portal in, but I also want to fit the Morgana. Oh, I get it down at the last second, but then the bug happens where I can't I can't make it. And then it also bugs out. I can't even slam items, which is so sad. The upside is I think this person had like connection issues, so they DC'd, so I get to keep my streak here. I'm thinking about the Morgana. I don't know if I end up selling her or not. I can't remember if she ends up on my final board. Morgana's a new 5 cost. I guess I can start talking about some of these 5 costs because I got in Nora and Yumi. As you can see here, Nora throws out these balls that like bounce around the arena. But the crazy thing is that Yumi comes with Nora. So Nora and Yumi is a 2-unit in 1-unit synergy here, and Yumi attaches. She casts every few seconds, healing up her target, and then if she overheals her target, that unit gets armor, or it gets AD or AP, depending on if they're an AD or AP champion. So really cool. I finally pick up Rise the last second, so I get in my Rise here, put the Radiant Shojin onto him. Rise he's kind of a reprint of, I forget what region of the Rise it is, but it's the one that summons portals and had stuff shoot out of them. That one's scaled with gold. This one, just because it's a 4 cost, can't be that crazy. But he summons these portals. All these little things shoot out of it and do like a little bit of damage to a bunch of different units. So really cool version of Rise. Yeah, he's very fun to play around. And yeah, I'm like, I need to get this Morgana onto this board here. But yeah, I'm playing a vertical portal board at this point, which is very fun. And like, yeah, I'm like, I'll play 4 Scholar. I'm trying to figure out what Rise's like mana is if he's overflowing, but man, if I would have worried so much less this game if I had just been like, oh, it doesn't matter if mana overflows because it's not real. Because I mean, yeah, it's not anymore, which is it's just such a nice quality of life buff here. I do end up getting the Morgana in here once again. We're talking about 5 costs. You can see I put the Yumi over there to attach to Rise, but Morgana's another 5 cost. She's a cool witchcraft. So what she does is when she casts, she summons all these bats, and the bats, I believe they execute. And if a bat kills a unit, they pick the unit up and bring it to your bench. So you can like basically steal copies of units that you kill with Morgana. So really cool. She can sometimes just farm you some extra econ. Say you're trying to deny someone and they're going for a 3-star 4 cost, and then Morgana kills that 4 cost, and then the bat flies it to the bench. Boom, you just denied a copy of it. Also, say you're fighting someone who's playing a similar comp to you. You really want to make it so Morgana can, kill their units and steal those copies. So really cool. At this point, I really just want to roll down and pick up some of these units that I'm looking for, right? I really don't want to be forced to duplicate this Rise. I think I do at the last second, end up duping him, just because I'm like, I need Rise 2 so badly, and I want to keep my streak because I'm on a 12 streak. So yeah, I end up just duping the Rise here and playing around that. Melio is another really cool unit. So as you can see here, when he casts, he summons a couple of items and throws them to your units. I think he can also either make permanent items or like summon you loot. I wasn't too clear on that, and I haven't played around Melio too much, and I think he changed slightly during like pre-playtest into playtest. But yeah, I believe he can summon you like permanent stuff as well. He's kind of like an Ornn that can sometimes give you like real items. So yeah, that's a bunch of the 5 costs. We rolled over Camille a few times, who's like kind of like Camille from League of Legends, where she like hook shot to the edge and then jump to units. Like after a kill, she hook shots and then jumps to a unit, and then she like does her ult from League. Of really cool units. Really fun 5 cost. And yeah, I don't know if there are any other 5 costs that we play around this game. I guess we'll end up seeing. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I grief my game, by the way. There's so many decisions to make this set. I mean, it's so cool, but it's so difficult. I get this Salvager. Any champion you bench this turn have their items removed and broken apart, and I'm like, okay, this Sunfire is really not that great as a tank item. I would rather make something else. But then I was like, well, I decide to end up, like, I use this to break down these items, but then I start getting really dizzy and end up making a Deathcap Shojin, which I think is pretty good. But here's my issue, right? I end up making Spark, and I'm like, well, I need to make guard breaker, but now like I have this anvil open. I should have made Morello's, but I end up like unmaking heal cut here because I get so dizzy because of the portal or because of the charm. This game, they made the game like the game is a billion% more skill testing, I would say. Like there's so many decisions to be made every round. Like just even that is really really cool because it's sort of like similar to an encounter, right? It's similar to the decision making that encounter introduces, where you'd see an encounter that says when you bench your units, you can break their items apart, except you had to sell them in the last set, which I don't know why. But now you have to choose. Okay, do I even want this? Is it worth buying in my situation? Because I have to play down this charm, like a combat charm for the round, and two, I have to spend gold on. In this case, it was only 1 gold, but imagine you get one that's more gold. So you have to ask yourself, okay, is the opportunity cost worth it of like having a different charm, and is the just straight up cost worth it? And then you have to figure out how to use it, right? Boom, like this one, gain a random portal champion. Like, do I want a random portal champion for 2 gold? I mean, probably not, but I don't know if it's weighted. Like maybe it would summon me a Jace. Like honestly, I don't know. I probably could have taken this one. I think honestly, I'm a little bit like not happy enough to click these after watching this game. I think in the early game, it's hard to click them sometimes because you're spending a gold or like 2 gold on something. The combat effects are hard to click. But I mean, certainly in spots like these, I should be picking up a charm. You can see 3, 4, and 5 all have a charm here. And hey, maybe a charm would be something that would like end up swinging this fight. Actually, speaking of swinging this fight, Rise just beast modes here and ends up swinging the fight all on its own, which is pretty sick here. I do end up Actually, I don't know. I end up getting Morgana 2 off Carousel here because there's a Morgana with blue buff, and I'm like, boom, Morgana 2. I mean, sure, this will give her a higher chance of stealing units with her bats. Obviously, just the random 2 Witchcraft in is pretty nice, and I can just throw the blue buff onto her, and it's like not that bad. She's Oh yeah, and the other thing is Morgana's like a frontliner. You can see she summons a shield, and then she summons out all the bats. Oh, it's the bats deal true damage to enemies below 25% HP. They don't execute per se, but they do deal true damage. So yeah, that's a cool thing where like they want to the game wants your Morgana to be able to kill units. But yeah, I mean at this point I'm looking at pushing levels, maybe getting like a mage in later. Nami is like kind of like a CC type mage who's also kind of a carry. Oh, we also fight against this new Olaf, who's just a monster here with RFC. This Olaf, look at him jump, man. Every time he targets somebody out of his range, he just jumps to the next target, and every 4th auto he jumps. Just look at him jumping around the board, killing everything. I had so much trouble with this Olaf this game, and in a lot of games, this guy was a monster. Look at this, like, life insurance. Do I want to buy this here? I say, you know what? I'm 54 HP. I can buy this. It gives my units the ability to drop gold. But if I was really low here, maybe I would say, okay, I need to roll here and pick up a different charm, one that's going to make my board actually stronger. So I'm in love with the idea of charms. I think they're such a cool set mechanic. Like it makes econ management all the more important now because econ can turn into combat strength in a pinch. If you have, 10 gold and your opponent has 0 gold. I've had games where I didn't manage my econ well, and so late game, I'm 0 gold, and I'm staring down 2 people who have charms, and I don't have a charm because I found a charm that I didn't really like, and then I didn't have enough gold to roll for another charm. So that's another thing that, like, they make econ management so much more important, which is, it's too cool. I really feel like Riot knocked it out of the park with this set mechanic. It is so fun. Oh, I also have Diana here, who I would love to fit onto this board. She is just a monstrous unit. Honestly, she's she was really OP during the playtest. She like dashes to the middle of the units, does damage, chills. She does it all. This is really that one that I passed over there. We'll talk about it more later in the game. Getting a temporary emblem of your most active trade for 1 round. So if I had, say, a portal crest, I could use this to get to 8, which is really big. Again, a random effect here. I take this one, which just ends up giving me some gold. I really just wanted to pick something up so I could continue to roll down here. Try to pick up some of my 2 stars, my important units here. I end up not seeing them. Oh, Smolder's another 5 cost that I passed over there because I just can't play him on my board. Smolder is kind of like, I didn't play in the set with Aurelion Soul, but I believe he's kind of like Aurelion Soul, where he flies around the board. He just doesn't care, and he just ends up spitting on people and doing damage. He's also a dragon, which, if you activate Dragon, it gives him heal cut on his abilities. So you can just play 2 Dragon, get heal cut for free. Shyvana's a dragon who's pretty nice to play. So it's really cool. Boom. This one, I thought it was going to go on to Rise, but then I realized it goes on to this Tahm Kenshir, which is really annoying because I wanted to give it to Rise. And then I end up seeing all these units, and I'm just like, please, man, just give me something 2-star. Emilio 2-star, a Nora and Yumi 2-star, a Taurik 2-star, anything here. I'm also trying to swap to try to... this is Mocha, Water Park Tactics, by the way, 767, this person that I'm fighting here. I try to swap to scare off his Olaf, but he doesn't take the bait here, just leaves the Olaf in the same spot, and it's just so hard. Especially because I wasted my heal cut component earlier, it's so hard to get through this Olaf, and just all this frontline, man, it heals so much. I trolled this game, but I'm going to feel, I think, this set so much that I've trolled so many games, I would say, just because there's so many decisions to be made in TFT these days, like an insane amount here. I end up selling this Tark here because I'm 20 HP, and so I say I need to buy a charm here. So I buy this charm here. This one gives a unit on your back row attack speed, so then I move all the rest of my units up to guarantee that the attack speed goes onto the rise. You can see this little charm effect here go onto him, and then he gets a bunch of attack speed at the start of combat. So, like, you know, having a good charm versus not having a good charm this late into the game, I only have 2 gold left, and, like, you know, maybe if I had a charm that gave me anti-heal or something, I could have won this fight. That's, like, I think it's just such a cool way of doing things. I see a portal emblem on the final carousel here, and I say, you know what? It's only 2 more to get to 8 portal here. I would have to cut my... I do need to find either a Jace or a... I forget what the other one I'm missing here, but I put it in planner, or an Ezreal to get portal in, but I immediately find Ezreal, so I say, all right, I'll cut the Tahm Kench. I'll get Ezreal in here. I want to keep all my other traits in and just portal this unit. And so now I have 8 portal, which does allow you to get some better stuff out of the portal. I'm at this point just rolling here to try to get a good charm and something. That one is crazy where you get a 3-star 1 cost, but I found a lot of time that was just not that valuable. I think, yeah, I pick up this one that gives my units extra range, which is pretty underwhelming, but I just wanted a portal. But yeah, I mean, check out this A portal. It summons the Jarvan thingy. I think, did it summon an item there? It summons this giant Krug that you can see in the middle of the board, which is really, really nice. I think it's summoning damage here. Another Krug, which just barely doesn't come out in time, so it doesn't give me enough HP to win the fight, and I just barely go a third this game. So really, really just fun game overall. I absolutely had a blast playing around all of this new stuff, the portals, everything. It was just, the game was too fun to play around. I just had an absolute blast. So I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD. I hope you guys enjoy set 12 because it is coming out on PBE in a couple of days. If you guys enjoyed this VOD and you want more set 12 content, check out the link in the description for a VOD of me playing set 12. It's all my VODs and my playtest thrown together in a huge long VOD. So if you guys are dying for more set 12 content, go check that out. The link is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.